Hi guys, welcome to this Pigeon Pack Piece with me and Flip. He left, now it's just me. I'm going to tell you guys about the worst taxi ride of my life. All right, and it was on the way to go to the airport to go meet up with the Pigeon Pack in Cincinnati. My sister had been in town and she was leaving, and I planned everything perfectly so that she was leaving out of Newark in the afternoon, and I was going to leave out of Newark in the afternoon so that we could go to the airport together, we could leave together, it would all be nice and easy. Well, it wasn't so nice and easy for a few reasons. Like, first of all, I'm leaving the apartment for the entire summer. I'm leaving my bunny for the entire summer, you know? So I had a lot of preparation to do. I had to get the apartment ready, but I also wanted to hang out with my sister because she was in town. So I just didn't get the apartment ready, and I was rushing around like crazy at the last minute. And I had planned for us to just take the train to Newark. It's really not that bad. You go to Penn, you get on New Jersey Transit, it's fine. And then I realized that Louise, my sister, had 2 suitcases that were each like the size of me. They were giant, and there was no way we were going to be able to carry them up and down the stairs at all the trains and everything. So that morning I was like, okay, actually, looks like we have to get a cab. And my sister is freaking out because she wants to leave as early as possible. And by freaking out, like, she was just like, come on, Poppy, let's leave as early as possible. And I was freaking out because I didn't have anything ready to go. So I'm running around the apartment like a mad woman trying to get ready. And the cab is on its way, and it's arriving, and like we make it wait for like 10 minutes, and I'm like scrambling to get out of the apartment, and finally we do, and we get gone. And we get in the cab, and we get to Newark. We're in plenty of time. Everything is set until I go to get my wallet to pay the guy. And I had left my wallet on the dining room table all the way back in Brooklyn, which, for those of you who don't know, is an $80 cab ride and about an hour in traffic away. All right, so I'm at the airport early, but I mean, you know, still within a normal range. I can't pay the cab driver. I can't get on the plane without ID, and I'm just screwed. So I sent my sister out. I was like, all right, go, have a good flight, love you, bye. And I told the cab driver we had to go back, right? But it's not just that we had to go back, because I had also that morning given my keys to Albert so that he could take care of the bunnies. So I didn't even have my keys to get back into my apartment, right? But worse than that, Albert was at work, and he didn't have his keys with him. My keys with him, right? He had his keys. He'd left them at the apartment. Okay, so I'm figuring everything out as we're in the cab, and freaking out and trying to arrange, how we're going to do this. And then I notice the cab is going through Manhattan. For those of you not aware, going through Manhattan to get from Brooklyn to Newark is cheaper because you don't have to pay as many tolls, but it is a lot longer. And the one thing I did not have was time, right? So I'm freaking out because I don't know how I'm going to do this, and I'm not going to make it there, and I don't have enough money, and I am just racking up this cab ride, the cab fare right now. So I'm just like, okay, we're just going to do this. I'm just going to hurry. I'm going to hurry. And I'm crying in the back of this cab, just bawling, because I think I'm spending all of this money. I'm not even going to make it. It's all going to be a disaster, but I'm going to try anyway. I'm just going to try. So I go to Albert's work. I get his house keys. We go to Albert's house. I get in there. I find my keys. We come to my apartment. open it up. I get my wallet. This is like, I'm running in between all of these things. We go back down. We go back to Albert's work so I can give him back the keys. And I say to the cab driver, you have to take the Verrazano. And he's like, oh, which is the faster way to go through Staten Island to get to Newark. And he's like, oh, my boss doesn't let me. My boss doesn't let me. We have to take the cheaper way. And I was like, and I'm crying. And I'm like, I'm going to miss my flight. You have to take the Verrazano, right? And finally, he's like, yeah, okay, I'll take the Verrazano. And by the way, I don't have all the money to pay him either, right? Like I got out a lot of cash because I was like, all right, I'm going to be traveling. I'm going to need cash. And I knew I was going to need, but I didn't have like 3 times $80, like, $240 for this 3 crazy cab ride. But I wasn't even addressing with him at the moment because I was just like, I just need to get there, right? We'll figure this out later. And then as we're on the Verrazano, on our way there, it's looking like maybe I'm going to make it. It turns out he owns the cab company as he's telling me about it. I'm like, oh, your boss? You just told me that your boss didn't let you, and now you're saying you own it. Something is wrong here, but I don't care. I just want to get to the airport. So finally, we get across the Verrazano. We're getting into Jersey. And normally, to get to the airport, you would get on the Jersey Turnpike, which is also a toll road. And we've got like an hour and 20 minutes until my flight takes off. So I'm like, I'm going to make it. This is going to be okay. We're like 10 minutes away from the airport. This is going to be all right. And then he exits too early. No, I got him to take the Verrazano, but he would not take the New Jersey Turnpike, which is not a big toll, right? And I just found out, he just told me that he owns the company and it's not his boss. And he's going on the side streets in Newark, New Jersey through red lights and everything to get to the airport. And at this point, I was just like beyond, I was no longer afraid I was going to miss the flight. I was like, I think I've got this, but I was just furious with him and with everything and the world and with the fact that I was spending more money than like I could even think about. So I ended up giving him all the cash I had, which was less than $240, but not by that much. I don't remember exactly how much it was. And I gave it all to him, ran out, and just ran for security. And I'm like, I have so many emotions, like, I'm like, just feel like I'm gonna, I was sad, and then I was angry, and I was nervous, and I had adrenaline, and I was running. So I'm in security. I'm just like not thinking about anything except that I'm here. I'm gonna make it through. I'm here. And I get through, and in security, they pull out my full water bottle. That's like my favorite, like little thermos water bottle that I had left all the water in. And so, which I'm a good traveler. I know you can't do that, but there was too much going on. So they took away my water bottle. Not only had I lost like more than $200, but I lost my water bottle. And then I get through to the other side of the security, and my sister's still there. Like her flight hadn't even left yet. So we got to hang out, which was cool before leaving. And I can't decide whether or not I'm going to blame her for this. Louise, you saved me by making us leave so early so that I had enough time to get back. But then again, would I have left my wallet if we hadn't left so early? Yeah, I don't think I can get away with that, can I? It's still my fault. Thanks for watching. Tune in Friday for episode 3.